everybody? It's your boy Random News, and let me welcome you to part 2 of Cash for Kenneka, Jedidiah Brown. Now, today we're going to go over what we couldn't have went over in the first episode. But before we do that, let me give you a quick recap of what you missed in the first episode. And if you didn't see the first episode, you can go to my YouTube channel and check it out. It's pretty funny. But let's get into the recap. So in the last episode, we recapped how Jedediah was an agent provocateur and how he was a crisis actor. We also went over how he starts GoFundMes and fundraisers before he even gets down there to start a case. We also showed all of his many television appearances and publicity stunts that surrounded every case he ever put his hands on. We also went over one of my favorite things, and that was him getting carjacked live on Facebook, or him talking about how he used to get shot at or cut, or any of these real phony stories he likes to come up with. Oh, and let's not forget about the whole suicide incident here. We also showed how he used his own family to his own advantage, over how he took out Andrew Holmes to secure his place with Mother Teresa as a top activist.
I'm an advocate, and I'm one of the ones that's ruling mine, and another advocate.
And how it all fell apart when Teresa found out about his Freedom Fund scheme. Now, where we left off in the last episode, we just saw Natorah get exposed by her girlfriend for spending Freedom Fund money on bullshit. And then they got into an argument where she locked herself in the bathroom while a girl put all her fucking information out there. Now we're gonna have to go over Jedediah and his freedom frauds right now. We're gonna go over each and every one of these frauds, and we're gonna see what's up. So we're gonna start off by doing something that nobody did during this case, and place our attention first on Rico. Rico came into the game clout chasing. He already had his own uniform. His claim to fame was he knew Mother Teresa and met Kenneka at some point. And who can forget about his famous catchphrase that he had to say anytime you see him?
Trust me, Rosemont gonna soon hear me say, Rosemont, wake up, Rosemont.
Rico never really had much to add to this case, so he just started making stuff up. Let's look at a few examples of the stuff he said just to keep himself relevant.
It's your boy Rico. Everybody know me as the person who always say, Rosemont, wake up, Rosemont. She was beaten and then she was choked and raped. I specifically said that they took the body to the dude who does the organ stuff, and he told them to put her body in the freezer to preserve the body so he can get the organs. So basically they sold her body to the person who does the organs. They threatened to basically put a bullet in my head, told me don't come back, don't depend on Jedediah, don't depend on Lamon. They tried to turn me against the protesters, but I continued to go fight.
Now, like most things that happen with these freedom frauds, nothing he said turned out to be true. The funny part was, nobody cared. Well, except one person decided to call him on his bullshit, and that was Chosen King. And that's
Let me tell you something, Rico. You're a rookie. You're a rookie activist. Those Jedediahs, Andrew Holmes, they're professionals.
What's that for?
Rico, I see through you, bro. Jedediah's understudy.
Where you from, Chosen King?
You are Jedediah's understudy.
Yo, and you trying to pit false allegations on me.
Kenneka in the freezer.
And wake up, Rosemont.
Rico, she gave you 2,000. You know Jedediah got 30,000. He got more than you. You know that, right? And you know how much? Do you want to know how much Andrew Holmes got, Rico? See, this is gonna make you feel real bad, cause you at the bottom of the totem pole. Mr. Andrew Holmes got 40,000. Yeah, Jedediah got 30,000, and you got what? How much you got, P. Tell us.
Hey, you hear me? I hope you enjoy.
Don't act like your mic messing up. Don't act like your mic messing up when I'm talking about money. Don't you act like your mic
my
messing
mic ain't
up when I'm
messing
talking
up.
about money.
Now, after that and all the controversy surrounding the Freedom Fund, you really didn't hear much from Rico. But then, coming up on a 1-year anniversary, what better way to bring yourself back than to tell people that you died? But like every story these frauds tell, that ended up being a lie. He claimed he got hacked and somebody else put that up. But let's hear him say it.
So I guess somebody is really like looking to either off me. Somebody really pushing it to that level that they trolling. It's either somebody trolling me or somebody really want me dead, huh? Real talk. Somebody couldn't handle what I was saying earlier today, so y'all want to go on and hack my page and say I'm dead. Is that what y'all want to do? Real talk. Y'all could clearly see it's me. So whoever that is on that page, it's hard for me to get my password right now because the email for that page is in my tablet.
But since the 1 year anniversary is here, of course, you know, P. Rico had to show up at the protests. Planet of the Fakes put out this funny ass video. Check this shit out.
Thank you for your patience. P. Rico out there all up in the family's face, y'all. They not even trying to be associated with him, y'all. He ran right to the family, y'all. P. Rico ran right to the family and they all giving him cold shoulders. Like, you see it right here first, y'all.
Man, that video had me dying. But you know, P. Rico wasn't going to miss a photo opportunity with Miss Teresa. But enough about him. Let's move on to the next fraud. This is Lamon Records. He's like Jedediah's right-hand man. You rarely see him apart. It was almost like he took a class from Jedediah on how to become a fraud. He likes to show up to protest just like Jedediah, cause a lot of trouble, get himself arrested, then go on live and cry about it. And if you ever see him at a protest, you're more than likely to see him just staring at people like a weirdo like this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to do it. But just like Jedediah, Lamon always figures out a way to turn the attention off of whatever he's doing and put it right onto himself. Case in point, him getting arrested at the airport for doing things that he shouldn't do, and then provoking the cops and arresting him just so he can get attention.
So I decided to go out the door right there.
Notice the huge signs posted everywhere saying no entrance. What a moron.
I decided to go out that door right there and didn't even see the signs, but I just walked out of the door because I was looking for Jedidiah. I wasn't told I couldn't go through the doors. I didn't see the signs. I just went through the doors because I'm looking for Jedidiah.
So you came in through the door?
Yeah.
And came back over here somewhere?
I came right here. This is where I was standing. Yeah.
And then walked back that way?
Yeah.
Through the door?
Yeah.
So you didn't see the 4 signs that say no entry?
I didn't see the signs because there was people coming in. There was people getting off the plane that was coming in, so I just, went through the doors, but I wasn't thinking about that sign, or I didn't see that one because I'm standing over here. But he definitely did say something after I came back in.
Okay.
And he told me that I couldn't go through.
When you walked back that way,
he didn't say nothing.
Okay. You do realize we have cameras everywhere, right?
All right.
Okay.
But he didn't
What I
say
need you
nothing
to do
to
is
me.
take your bag off for me, okay?
Well, I'm taking my bag off for him.
Right here, he can just do what the officer says and be on his way. But that's not the freedom fighter way.
Just need you to take your bag off.
This is my property. I don't feel at my safety. I don't feel like that's good enough.
Are you going to arrest him?
Sir, I need you to take your bag off.
So are you going to arrest me?
I need you to take your bag off.
I'm asking you a question. Am I being under
I'm going to
arrest?
tell you one more time. I need you to take your bag off.
Okay, but am I being under arrest? All right, I can take my bag off.
Take your bag
I
off.
can take it off. I can take it off.
Y'all doing
I can
too
take it
much.
off.
Y'all doing too
All right,
much.
I can take it off.
Put your hands behind your back.
All right. Record this, please.
I got you.
Y'all see this,
I
right?
got you.
Wow. No, get all of this. Make sure you get every last bit of it.
I got you.
Get every last bit of this. I'm not resisting the
I'm
rest.
standing back, but I'm making sure I get this.
Because I walked through the door. No, she's all right. Don't
I'm
touch
okay.
her. Don't put your hands on her.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Make sure you get your criminal trespass. Do you? Criminal trespass.
Do you see this? Sheena, y'all?
You would think Jedediah would have ran and rescued his boy since they had a freedom fund and all. But
We were told that Lamon's bail is $750. Listen to me. We are not, and I'm putting this on record, we are not going to utilize any resource from the Freedom Fund because this arrest was not connected to any direct case that we were dealing with.
you would think just because these two were so tight that he wouldn't just leave his boy out to the wind like that. But don't worry about our boy Lamon over here. Just like Jedediah, he's a crisis actor, and he's connected to the same politicians that he claims to be against. Which brings us to Natorah L. Now, she's no stranger to getting into fuckery of her own. She's already been in trouble before this case, and then she jumped on this case trying to help out somebody else's kid, and she doesn't even have custody of her own kid. Now, she's always getting herself into some other schemes, and here's a perfect example of one scheme that she got into. Now, Natorah and Jed and the rest of the freedom fighters heard about a woman named Olga Fields. They decided to take it upon themselves to, quote-unquote, help her out with her children and help get off the streets. Well, Natorah had a story one day on live, but then Olga had a separate. Let's hear what Natorah had to say.
I just got one more thing to say. I ain't even finna go over this whole thing again, telling y'all what happened.
We definitely knew she didn't want to give you the whole story.
I'm about to show y'all several screenshots of her asking people for money. This is a GoFundMe account, right? I'm trying to let it. That's with them kids too. This them kids that ain't hers, right? Y'all see that right there? GoFundMe, right? Sending that to people. She wants you to repost that. She asking for money. Now I tell you this. Them kids that she talking about is in the system. They're the victims. But she ain't got nothing to do with that. Cause she thought I was finna bring her all that money. Nope. I asked donators, the people that donated, and they said they did not want me to give her money. So that's what I did. I kept the cash, and I kept paying for her rooms and extending her rooms, because I thought, before Thanksgiving we was gonna at least have a point of contact and get her into a permanent place. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. Those are my receipts for now, but I'm sure there's more.
Once again, get a freedom fighter some money, and bullshit will continue to follow behind them. Let's see what Olga had to say.
Receipts, you got all these screenshots and all this stuff, and show me one post where I personally came out of my mouth asking for money. I never asked for money. I asked for help to help me resources to get off the streets from being homeless. I never ever asked for money, so don't consider and say I'm a scam artist or nothing. No money ever hit my hand. It all went into Natorah's account. It never hit my hand. Never ever ever hit my hand. But you know what? She made money off me too, because you know what? On her live video, she told people that if they wanted to donate, to buy rocks from her daughter. But I'm telling you something, no money ever hit my hand. Now I know what everybody else is saying about these people and how they turn on you. And you notice, every conflict that they have against everyone, it has to do with money. I never asked for no money. I never received a dime. So, everybody wants their money back, they need to contact Natorah.
Now, the freedom frauds aren't just going to get exposed and take it lightly. So they went and found Olga, and they harassed the hell out of her. Check it out. First of all, look at how many of these clowns it took to go confront this Olga Fields woman. Why does it take this many people to go talk to one person? They only did this to intimidate her. But here you go.
And so we were backing up Natorah, but I also want you all to understand something else. There is no way by which I would not stick up or defend people who gave. Oh God. Oh! Don't want to scare you, didn't mean to scare you. But you called us a lot of names, so we're just trying to get understanding. What's going on?
Get me off live now.
Well, that's
You made it make
I'm asking you to get me off live. And you don't need to come in here like you're gonna fucking do something to me.
No, don't do
No,
that.
You got like 1, 2, 3.
We're not gonna do
4, 5,
anything
6.
to you. We're not gonna do anything to you.
We
Over.
aren't threatening you,
We're not threatening you at all.
so don't do that.
You're not threatening me? You got
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people.
Maybe
No,
because
we're
we
not
black.
threatening you at all.
No, it ain't
Well,
because
some
of-
people
don't-
wait.
Don't
Olga.
do that. I'm not
Olga.
racist. Don't do
Well,
that.
I didn't say that.
Don't do it.
This
You
is
said 'cause
this
you're
is the
black.
question that I have for you. This is the question that I asked you.
No, I did it on purpose.
We didn't threaten you at all.
We're not threatening you. That's why.
Now, the fact that it took this many people to come see this person is ridiculous. All they wanted to do was intimidate her, and they had to do it on live because, they need attention.
I'm doing okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How's your night going so far?
I'm doing okay.
Now, do you mind if we just ask you a couple of questions?
Just calm down. We're not here to attack you at all. So the first thing that I want to say is I don't know why you attacked me and Justice Organization, because we didn't do anything to you, but I saw your lives, and you said that we were the Justice Organization.
Wait a minute. You didn't come on your live and bash me.
I did.
No, I did
But
not.
I ain't bash you. I just told the truth about you.
You're talking about
You told the truth about me.
Jedidiah Brown? Did Jedidiah Brown do
You
it?
need to leave me alone. Get away from me.
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Wait.
No, she don't have to do that.
I'm gonna go.
Now clearly she wants to leave, but Jedidiah and this band of frauds who claim they're not there to intimidate, that's all they're doing because they're not letting her go.
Oh, can you calm
Go
down?
to my room.
One second.
Calm down.
Look at me. Who are you talking? Hold on, one second. Who are you talking about telling me? Why are you telling? No.
She trying to explain it.
Listen to me. Why are you telling her?
I don't want you to say I'm approaching.
And she did nothing but lie to the police yesterday.
What did she lie to the police about? Hold on one second.
We're trying to clear up. We're trying to clear up.
Oh my God.
We're trying to clear up the air.
Wait a minute. If you were in my position, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, and it's just me. But how would you feel?
But we telling you we're not.
Seriously, no.
I understand you. Listen to me. I understand your feelings, but you have to understand these people, myself, are not here for no reason. You gotta think about that. We're not here for no reason whatsoever.
You're here for a reason. Okay.
And the reason was because it's been known that you've been attacking a justice organization and people who has been donating to you. You've been attacking them.
But you also turned around and said that the money came to me. It never came to me.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
I never said that.
So,
Hold on.
can y'all hold on 1 second?
1 second. I'm going to talk for myself. Olga, I did not say that any money came to you except $40 from him, $10 from Vera, and whoever else you've been in their inbox and they claim that you sent. But listen, the money that was sent to me, I said I spent it on your room, and I was planning on taking your van to get it fixed. That's it.
No. According to the lie detector, you got my van fixed.
I never said that.
You know what? Yes, you did. You know what, Tom?
I never said that.
You need to leave me alone.
You need to stop doing it because.
One thing only. Can I talk to you, and you by yourselves? Because I feel very intimidated right now.
Okay, we don't want you to feel intimidated. Y'all give us some more.
This shit show went on for an hour or more. You can look up this interview to see the rest for yourself. But it was pretty sad to watch. And look how happy this clown is.
Oh, we learned a valuable lesson today. And that is forgiveness, I guess. Yeah, forgiveness.
Which now brings us to Sheena. Now you guys remember Sheena from part 1. She was the one that the crowd went crazy for when she got announced at the Freedom fundraiser, rally, whatever they want to call it. And you can see by Jedediah's voice, he was getting kind of worried. Now down the line, Sheena got voted president of that little freedom group here. And Jedediah wasn't too happy about it. And it kind of put a rift into that whole relationship. Let's hear what Sheena had to say.
And that's just what it is. I absolutely believe in the cause. I lost all faith and confidence in the people. And that's why Sheena, Shyla, whoever you want to call me, both are correct, decided to remove herself. There is no way in hell that I will be associated with BS, period. My only issue with Jedediah is the fact that this is going on and he has not cleared my name. Only issue. Everything changed with this presidency. Everything changed. I told Jedediah when he brought it to me, and I'm going to tell you why he brought it to me. I told him when he brought it to me that I didn't think it was a good idea, that I didn't think it was necessary to vote for president. I felt like he was the face of it. He was the individual who needed to go ahead and proceed with that. He stated, no, let's give it back to the people. Let's go ahead and let them vote. From the moment that I took off in that race, there was an issue. You could tell everything started to change, relationships started to change, whatever the case is. He felt some sort of way. By his own admission, he has stated to me, how do you think I felt having you hand me back something that I built? He believes he built it on his own. Without a doubt. He is the face. I don't need it. Didn't need it before. Don't need it after. Believed in the cause, though. So, ultimately tried to do my best to be for the cause across the board. I believe in that.
See how things get when Jedediah doesn't get his way? Now, luckily for Sheena, she got out while she could. But as for our boy Jedediah, things just kept getting worse. People started asking more questions about that freedom fund, and a bunch of skeletons started coming out of his closet. For example, at this protest, one of Jedediah's family members shows up, and check out what happened here.
Don't come around me, period. Period. Not in back of me, not around me.
Don't be scared.
I'm cool. I'm more than good. But from around me.
Stop walking around me, period, Danny. Stay the fuck away from me. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Stay the fuck away from me. Stay away from me, Danny. Stay away from me. Don't talk to me. Get the fuck out my face. Don't talk to me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Get the fuck out my face, Danny. Get the fuck out my face, Danny. Get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my fucking face. Stay away from me, bitch.
She really doused that man with holy water. Did you see the demon come out of him? Check it out.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
No, I'm not. I'm being harassed. I have a restraining order against him. I want him away from me. Period. Stay away from me.
Now, the woman out there performing an exorcism on Jedediah was his cousin, Asia Love. And she had quite the story to tell about Jedediah. She threw a lot of accusations out there about him. Let's hear what she had to say.
What is this guy, Jedidiah Brown? What is his real name? Who do you know him as?
Daryl Eugene Coleman.
That has become a hashtag, and people are Jedediah.
Jedediah. I've been calling him Jedediah forever because he's been lying. Stop lying to people and tell people your real name. You're not Jedediah. You're Daryl Eugene Coleman.
Daryl Eugene Coleman.
I smashed them together and said, okay, Jedediah.
The relationship with Jedediah and your son. Was they raised in the same household, or did he raise them? What's the short story, or what's the story to that?
The story is, up until I asked my child if he was raped or molested by Jedediah, he was allowed to go to protests and stuff with him. I asked my son, I asked him 3 very pointed questions. Mm-hmm. Have you been molested? Mm-hmm. Have you been raped? Or has anyone did anything inappropriate to you? He said, no, I've never been raped. He didn't answer me about the molestation, and he told me to define inappropriate behavior. I called the police on him.
Right, because okay, then what happened?
They told me that it's basically his word against his word type of situation. He will have to go through a trial and be proven. I've been through that. It's very, very hard.
But did your son admit, did your son say that Jedediah touched him, though?
No, he didn't verbally
say that
he touched him.
Right.
He said define inappropriate, and he put his head down. I immediately called the police.
Okay. Yeah, he had a
GoFundMe pages, 4 of them. 4 different GoFundMe pages up.
Mm-hmm.
Under the guise of he's going to do a separate funeral for my son without my permission, and had all these people sending him money.
And he got the money.
Yes.
You think he got the money?
I know he got the money. I know he got the money.
You know he got it. And did he any funeral arrangements?
What funeral? I haven't heard about it. I wasn't invited as his mother to the funeral, so who knows?
Right. And that's how he pretty much getting his money.
Yes.
Through the grieving mother.
Yes, stand next to him while they too distraught to talk, and he's talking for them. Well, if you just send some money so we can help, and then everybody feels sorry because they see us crying and send it to him, and then it disappears.
When you're getting accused of things like this, it can be pretty hard. Everything seems to be falling apart for Jedediah. His family is exposing him for what he is. The people in his organization are starting to see him for who he is. They're putting pressure on him to see that ledger. And he just lost the presidency to Sheena. Now all of his people are starting to go live and start exposing him as well. And that's when things started to really fall apart.
What man of God anyway sit up and call people devils and all this shit when you don't get your way? You done ate off the fat of the lamb, but now everybody evil, nigga, after you full. Really? You can't talk to everybody and be messy and think shit ain't gonna come back. What kind of fucking man are you, nigga? What kind of fucking man are you? What kind of man are you? When's the last time you had some pussy? When you fucked Natorah probably? Nigga, fuck you. So nigga, you go to the gas station. Some people fighting. You get your punk ass out the car to try to go in the store for whatever you're looking for at 3 in the morning in Atlanta, and ain't shit going on out there but crack cocaine, prostitution, and motherfucking dipping and sticking in the ass. Somebody threw a goddamn phone in a goddamn bush after they done fought you and kicked and scratched and cut, and he come back and throw a phone in a bush, and then you so happily come back the next morning and find it. Oh, here's the phone, but you in the iPhone store texting Lamon on that same goddamn phone number. Boy, if you don't knock it the fuck off already.
There is a so-called activist in Chicago named Jedidiah Brown whose intentions are false. He ambulance chases. He goes after dead black babies for publicity. I did not know he was an activist at all until about a year and a half, or maybe about 2 years ago now, after the height of getting attention for activism was rising. That's when all of a sudden he was reaching out in the community. He makes claims that he's been doing this his whole life, but he was one of the conformists that I went to high school with. Of our high school experience, he tried to say that I was a devil worshiper, even though I was a devout Christian for the first 2 years of high school until I got a mind for myself and a mind for revolution. Everything that he is claiming is a damn lie.
Make sure Mr. Jedediah, make sure he's watching too.
I said, who wants to remain a freedom fighter and who doesn't? Or even maybe. I was out. I was done.
Right.
And no, that's unacceptable in Jed's faith. He's
that.
gonna deframe you in any way he can.
He did it. He did it.
I feel his aura up in here. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I want to know how he got cut. I want to see his. I want to show him. I want him to show us his cut.
He lied and told those people that I left Lamon stranded. I produced the receipts that not only did I pay for Lamon's flight, I paid for his megabus ticket, I paid for him a hotel to stay in because Jedediah did not get up and go get him from the airport. And sent them money for additional hotel stays after I also booked the Airbnb for their stay. That Negro sat in that house and told that family that I left them stranded in Texas for 2 days without any funds. 2 days. I sent money for a rental car and everything. And I take my receipts. You know that. And he sat there and he collected money from that family for all of those things I just named. All of those things. And you wonder why we are in this situation. Sheena don't come looking for nobody, but you best believe when I am called, I will answer. And I will answer every single time. Don't you want to know who cut Jedediah? I would like to know too. I can tell you the area that he was in was riddled with gay prostitution and drug use. I I just found out that this fool got a whole GoFundMe from 2015 that's still collecting cash. What was he up to?
$41,000.
Exactly.
41,000. Go catch it, baby.
Exactly.
I keep telling people, boy,
Exactly.
stop playing.
Don't do me. Don't do me.
Go do. Okay, we call Miss Teresa. She confirmed a few of the things that we had to say about or ask about Jedediah. But what she don't know is while we were in Texas after that protest, Jedediah sat at that kitchen table and told us he knew exactly what happened to Kenneka. He watched it on the video and he told us exactly how that girl got murdered. And he knew who did it. And my sister-in-law, Miss Yolanda, she can attest to it because she was sitting right there. So you tell me what man who knows something about somebody getting murdered, who he out there hollering for justice for Kenneka, would not tell the police he knew and saw that video? Why wouldn't he do that?
I ain't no motherfucking puppet. Ain't no fucking strings attached to this motherfucking back of mine. Don't nobody pull my motherfucking strings. Ain't nobody pull no whole card over here, okay? Because I'm well capable of taking care of my motherfucking self. And Jedidiah Brown, you fucking know that, you fucking old you. It came for the juggler, straight up. That's just what that is. It's some real shit right now. Because I'm pissed the fuck off and I'm sick of this shit. But guess what? I know you see these motherfuckers because you already fucking know what they're about, you fucking dirty bastard, you. Rotten motherfucker, you. You know the fuck your ass be doing. You like drama. That's why your fucking ass always hitting that fucking live button. Because you want to fucking tense. That man didn't fucking put out Miranda fucking business. Jedediah fucking punk ass did that fucking.
Now, of course, after a roasting like that, Jedediah wasn't going to take that laying down. Your boy jumped on live and he just straight went in. He went off the deep end and it was funny as hell.
I'm so sick of people talking about be a man of God, be this and be that. At the end of the day, all y'all can kiss the bottom of my boot. And I'm going to only do that. That's the worst I could do because I done told God that I'm going to stop cussing. But at the end of the day, y'all don't got nothing. You ain't never going to have nothing. And that's why we can't get nowhere because y'all a bunch of ignorant, hateful, spiteful, malicious punk. Now you petty, Jedediah. Now you didn't have to say that, Jedediah. Y'all can kiss my... I swear I wish I didn't tell God I'm going to stop cussing. Now you can kiss my butt. Now, yeah, y'all so... I bet you if Martin Luther King had life, he would have got on and told y'all to kiss his Buddha a couple times. Y'all don't like a real unruly motherfucker, do you? All she had to do was gracefully leave, resign, and stop. But oh, she's so tactful. She's so nice. No, you know what we've been fighting since the beginning of this organization is because this woman has thought that she was entitled to something she ain't put no work in because she has money. And I sat back and I took that stuff. I kept taking it. And y'all gonna go on there and disrespect me. And you're gonna do it over and over again. Now you got cake on your face. Oh, y'all not in my shoes. And they said, well, Jedediah bipolar and Jedediah scream. Y'all not in, you know what? I need to scream. I can't keep this stuff in me. Some of the worst people to fight for is people whose skin look like mine. Y'all some of the worst. Y'all been some of the worst. Ain't no white person ever came at me about no donation. No white person. Never. It's always a bunch of N-word bullcrap. Y'all talking about some freaking donations, man. You can kiss my ass. And I mean it. You can kiss my ass. And I want you to keep on watching because I'm going to keep on doing it and you're going to stay mad. And if you ask me a question about who put more into it, I say the person who had who put everything in it versus the person, oh, I'm doing this and I have this, that, and the third. Get
You ain't got no
your long head ass out of here. Your eggplant head ass. I hope you get that liposuction with that good 6-figure salary you got. Cause I'm not your type. Girl. Shit,
I'm glad my truth came out.
But that was bogus. We agreed to do this gracefully. And you're going to get on there and say, oh, it's because you was elected president. No! I knew you cheated. As you all can clearly see, I demanded either she resign or I resign. Now there go your truth. Ain't nobody. She can post the ledger that I don't even know. I don't know what's on the ledger.
Now he just did that long rant and lied through his teeth. See, Jedediah thought he would be able to get away with this scam for a long time with this freedom fund. Well, everybody turned against him because they knew he was stealing the money and he was frauding everybody. He knew he couldn't get away with it because the pressure was just too great for him to show this ledger. So to jump out in front of it, he did it live and act like he was going to spill the beans on himself to try to make himself look good in some sort of light. He's just a fraud.
And I'm hearing people call me a fraud. I'm hearing people say I'm two-faced. I'm hearing people say, oh, I called it and I told you so. But I looked in that video and I listened to it. And to my shock, when I listened to the video, Sheena James was telling the truth. She was telling the truth. The issue with her telling the truth was how she told it and her motive for telling it. Number one, she is telling the truth. I told her to take some money out of the fund that I had no access to. And I said, recover for any cost that was incurred for the sacrifices that you've made in getting us where we are. And to this day, I don't think it was nothing wrong with that. She said, no, thank you. I also told Sheena, don't release the ledger. Don't release the ledger. Don't release the ledger. She can post the ledger that I don't even know. I don't know what's on the ledger. And the reason why I told Sheena, don't release the ledger is because I recognize that the people who, if they got a hold of the ledger, would not be looking to validate that nothing was done wrong, which it wasn't, but that they would only be looking for something to be messy about. I said, let's have an election. Sheena did say, no, let's not have an election. I said, put the people up that was based on that, and I let everybody vote. Yes, I was shocked as hell how the election turned out. I'm looking at these posts and people saying, well, be honest, were you mad that you didn't win the election? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, he didn't want to release the ledger. It's throwing me under the bus. You ain't put it in perspective. I said, because we don't owe them nothing, and we don't need to get them nothing to talk about. And it's okay. I've been a fraud and a thief and an opportunist every time I've shown up for us. I'm built for this.
Not long after this, the freedom fighters and Jedediah disappeared from the YouTube community for a while. You didn't hear much from him, but just like in Jedediah fashion, he's back and he's up to his old tricks again. What you're about to witness is a clip of a protest where Jedediah got locked up. First, I'm going to show you the clip that they showed the people, then I'll break it down for you.
I can't breathe, fucker! I can't
Now I know what you're thinking. Man, that's fucked up what they did to Jed. But we gotta also remember, we're talking about Jedidiah Brown, and he always gotta hustle. Now remember in the first part where I told you how he was an agent provocateur, where he goes to protest just to cause chaos. Well, let's break this down, and I'll show you the hustle. Now as you can see here, this protest started off peaceful, like any normal protest would. Everybody's talking to the police commissioner, and everything's fine, nothing's going on. Now watch how Jedediah takes it from this to a whole nother level. First thing he had to do was start to antagonize the cops, just so we can start planting seeds. Check it out.
Oh, that's the one that was pushing us, I think. Yep, that's him. Ain't that him? That's the one that was pushing. He was pushing us yesterday.
I was gonna say, he wasn't out here.
I lied, y'all. He just looked like him. It's a better looking version now, I guess. God damn it.
Right there, he's already trying to start some chaos. Now he's going to walk up to the police commissioner over here, and he's going to ask him a question about how officers supposed to identify themselves. Now listen to what the commissioner says closely.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I got a question to ask you. If we ask an officer out here on duty in uniform to identify himself, should they identify himself? They have to, by rule of conduct. So...
Real quick, notice how he passed the camera over to his boy so he can get that perfect shot. What a clown.
All officers are identified with, they have their identification on. So if they're wearing their star, if they're wearing their name tag, they are identified.
He just said that perfectly clear. As long as they got their tag on or their star, then they're identified. Now watch how Jedediah flips this and turns this into a whole nother situation.
So if they don't, how they supposed to identify themselves?
If they don't, and you suspect they're a police officer, we have to identify.
All right, thank you.
Now
let's show y'all what happens in the black community. You just heard it right there from a representative of the Chicago Police Department. An officer must identify himself. If he don't have his identifiers, they're gonna raise the window up.
Now notice how he instantly walked away from asking that question, walked right up to these two cops who just happened to be sitting here, and he starts questioning them. Now listen to the answers that the cops give him.
Quick question. Can you identify yourself, sir? Him.
Sergeant Brown, I told you twice.
Sergeant Brown, you did not tell me that. You said, we're not doing this, Brown. That's what you told me, because my last name is Jedidiah Brown. But you called my name when you pulled up. You already knew that. So when I asked you earlier why you ain't tell me? So if
he already talked to these officers earlier, then he clearly already knew who these officers were. So to go over here and do this was completely pointless. But it serves the purpose of what you're going to see later.
What exactly do you mean, Mr. I wanted to know. I was uncomfortable with him not having no insignia. I did not hear. He said, we're not doing this, Brown. But I got you now. Thank you so much, Sergeant Brown.
Now here's where Jedediah puts the whole hustle in play. At this point, he took a group of protesters away from the peaceful protests, led them a block away where his cameraman that's always with him was waiting. He passes his phone off because he doesn't want anybody to hear what's about to go down. Now peep this hustle.
Get real close. Hey, John, hold this so I can talk to them real fast. Hold this.
I can't hold it. Give it to me.
All right. Well,
now y'all remember John from the crying activist video, right? Ask yourself this question. Who needs a cameraman to go do a good deed, right? This is all a hustle.
Right, hold on.
Wait, you want to hold it away from them? Towards him?
All right, y'all, listen to me. Listen, I want to know.
Don't shoot. Don't shoot. I want to grow up here and
Now watch how Jedediah directs them to take everybody's phone because he doesn't want it on live. And he tells them to walk down the street because he doesn't want anybody to hear what he's about to tell these other paid protesters out here to do.
Hold them ahead.
Hold her phone too. So, I got.
Oh, she's into that.
It's not. Okay.
No, he don't want them to hear the laugh.
I want them to hear. Oh. No, you don't cut it off. Come on.
Now as he starts to walk off, watch who pulls up to get into their position. This is all set up, and you'll see everything towards that.
what they do. This is what they do.
All right, y'all, here it goes, share it, because I'm telling you all, they are going to try to be unlawful.
This is the rehearsal of the script that Jedediah had told them before, he told them to take the phones away. We can call these outtake beepers.
Try it again. We want 3 things. What do we want? Yeah, we want the audio, people. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want? And when do we want it? Say, what do we want? What do we want? Investment. What do we want? Respect. And when do we want it? Now. What? They only giving 1 warning. Oh, we don't need no warnings.
Now remember that phrase, 1 warning. That's the phrase they're going to use to spark off the whole beat down, lock up.
We're not breaking no laws.
Now the plan was to walk around the street over and over again in front of these cops for the sole purpose of getting them to come and arrest him on camera. Because he bought his own cameraman and he needed the publicity, because just like I told you in part 1, all this has always been just about Jedediah.
And what do we want? We're just crossing the street.
Not to block the traffic.
We're not blocking traffic. We're crossing the street. Some of these are elders, and they may go a little slower than the rest. I know one warning, right? I know one warning, right? I know one warning, right? I know, I got you. So look, they crossing the street. That's not unlawful. What do we want? And what do we want? And we don't have to. We're crossing the street. We're crossing the street. We're crossing the street. Y'all, you gotta. It's elders. We crossing the street. It's a red light. He disabled, bro.
Okay, give us 3 more.
He disabled. What do we want? And when do we want it? Hey, put his arms down, though, bro. What do we want? Hey, bro, don't touch me. Don't touch me. He just did it.
Which now brings us to the payoff. Jedediah gets what he wanted. All attention's back on him, and he gets to go on live and play the victim and do everything he can do to raise more money. And people will fall for it, because they always do. None of these people are hurting this dude. And let's look at his acting.
I can't breathe, fucker! I can't breathe!
I mean, look at this shot right here. That's the perfect newspaper shot. And he's really selling it for the camera. He should get an award. Watch how he falls. Now, how does this dude go from barely able to stand to standing up screaming in the back of a paddy wagon? And notice the cop that's standing right at the edge of the paddy wagon and put him in. Real convenient, right? And just like always, with that, Jedediah put himself right back on top. Everybody forgot about the ledger and all the other fuckery he did. And now all they're talking about is Jedediah. And I think that's where we're going to leave off with this one. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Oh, but before we go, in the making of this video, during part 1, your boy Rico became a fan, and he started watching, but he wasn't too happy with me, as you can see by these messages right here in the comment section. So everybody go over and show Rico some love, because he's going to start crying in a little bit. Well, who knows? Maybe he might get his own video soon. But until then, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.